Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to talk about whether a company can get listed without an IPO, the unique case of a reverse merger. As we've already discussed, private equity is unlisted equity, and the way the private equity gets converted into public equity, gets transformed through a makeover, is the IPO, or the initial public offering. So can a company's stock get listed without an IPO? The answer lies very peculiarly in this statement: yes. A private company is unlisted stock. The shares are held by few number of investors, and each investor has large holdings. But a public company whose shares are listed on the stock exchanges like NSE, BSE, NASDAQ, NYSE, LSE have a large number of retail investors. Let's take an example of a reverse merger. ICICI Limited was one of the largest financial institutions in India with a huge loan portfolio. Its stock was listed on BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange. A few years later, RBI, the Reserve Bank of India, allowed private sector banks to get into existence, and ICICI Limited floated its own subsidiary, ICICI Bank, which was a private sector bank, but its stock was unlisted. The majority of the shares were held by ICICI Limited itself. So the point is, did RBI force this? RBI came out with regulations saying that, well, if you are a private sector bank, you got to get listed. And so what did ICICI Bank do? ICICI Bank, the subsidiary, bought over ICICI Limited, the parent. Okay, so the subsidiary bought over the parent in a predetermined swap ratio. That is, shareholders of ICICI Bank Limited will be given shares in ICICI, and in what ratio? So ICICI Bank shareholders' shares were surrendered, they were neutralized, and they got shares of a ICICI Limited, which is already listed on the BSE. ICICI Bank shares holders were thus allotted shares of ICICI Limited. So obviously they saw the greenback coming in. Unlisted equity thus got transformed into listed equity, in this case through a reverse merger or an RTO, or reverse takeover. Is reverse merger a corporate action? Only two options: yes, no, because there's no scope for a maybe. Thank you so much for watching in. Waiting for your comments and for your orders as to what